your latest piece, Timeless, what it was inspired by?
Okay. Timeless, as you know, is a commissioned work by the museum because of the retrospective. So I was given a brief about, because it's commissioned by the museum, that I had to have something. It has something to do with history and art. So you saw the history part of it. The art is not there. So you'll see it another time. But yeah, it was inspired by two events. One I read in the history book about the murder of Birch, who abolished slavery in 1875 and who was murdered by the Malay king in Perak while he was bathing, he was showering. And the other incident, because it was actually the beginning of actually nationalism in Asia. I think the murder where they all, killed a colonial master, so-called. And then 1969 was when I was growing up in Jalan Kayu, where I was born. There was this incident where the racial riots, it was during the racial riots, and this woman came running to my house because she was actually a domestic help. And she told my mother that her brother-in-law had just been killed. And then we heard more stories about two lovers. She was Chinese and he was Malay, and they were trying to run away because they had a baby. And actually the baby was chopped into two. But I couldn't show that part of it. So it was just a love story. I based it on that story of how, people, what they went through. So that was what. And then the last part, actually, it was inspired also by Francis Bacon's triptych of him. Actually, it was a self-portrait, which is in the Tate, and it's a triptych which was inspired by another painting called The Crucifixion, which is a crucifixion of Christ. So the third part of the film, which is Swilin and Siva's part, which has another part, which you'll see later. But it's a part of Mary Magdalene with Christ, and it's also about the importance of the postmodern man, and also about him not being able to live up to his life. He's always been the bystander, docile, never been able to be proactive. And so there's also a personal stance on something there that I'll explain later, but yeah, so that's what the story is about. Did I